Now, over the last week or so I've been tying quite a few saltwater flies, for bonefish especially, and a really well known fly is the bitters bonefish fly. Now this fly here gives the impression of a small crab. Now tie them in different colours, that's obviously it's a fiery brown or tan, this is a dark olive, you have a light olive and chartreuse legs, just change it to suit. And the one I'm going to be tying will be the orange version. Now you can see I've already got the head ready, but I'm going to show you how I do that first before we go. Now the hook size, I'm just using a size 8 standard Mustad. This is just a Mustad standard saltwater hook. Now I'm using a white thread at first, just start at the eye, come down, just about a third of the way, come back up. Now I've got the chain bead eyes, just put these on the top. Now the top of the shank will basically, when you fish these, it will cause the hook to flip upside. So we're figure 8 through that. 10 times on the top, then turn it upside down, figure 8. 10 times on this. And then I like to bring the thread tight, basically under each turn, a bit on top of the shank, and then I go back in with another good 10 times on top, turn upside down, do the same. Makes for it very strong. And then we just up towards the eye again, come back through and down. This makes for a very strong connection with the bead, with your dumbbells. Quick finish. Then you can trim that away. Now I'm going to show you the beads. This is a chain here, it's a chain bead. Yeah, I buy that from the local hardware store, and then all you have to do is use a pair of pliers and cut them into two. It's very easy, just cut them in a bit, just a pair of pliers and that's it. Now what I want to do here is I want orange eyes, but I want a fluorescent orange sort of thread colour, so I'm using, this is number 7 Gloria-Brite, which is a floss. You start at the eye and then we come to the back just to change the colour. And then we can figure 8 through it as well, top and bottom, and then we can put finish. So what I'm going to do is to change the colour, the bead, the one in orange, a nice orange. I'm just using a Sharpie pen, it's just a normal orange Sharpie pen. Now just quite simple. Don't worry if you hit some of them. I'm going to touch the centre here a wee bit, change the colour of the thread and centre. Must allow this to dry a wee bit though before you do anything else. There we are. That should do it. And then UV resin. That dries quite quick. I'll just do it just now. So I've got UV resin. I'm using the Full & Bill one. It's a very hard resin, this. Just a light coat first onto your thread and on just slightly onto the bead. So it's just to get it started. And then get your torch, set your resin, give it plenty of time to set. Go back, more resin, just on top round the eyes. If you can rotate your vise, it obviously helps. This will help correct the fly as well. What I'm doing is rotating my vise here. I want most of the resin to be on the bottom, so that's where the weight's going to be. Come in with your torch, set the resin. Rotate it while you're doing this as well. Now there's quite a bit of resin here, so you've got to give it plenty of time to set. Now just check with the back of your nail, the resin, it's nice and hard, which it is. And then what we can do, we fine coat of varnish all the way around, and then just allow that to dry. I usually sit and do these first, and then tie the flies, because the flies are very simple. Now we've got one obviously prepared earlier. Get 2 or 3 actually. You pick a nice and bright eye. There we go. Now there's many ways you could tie this fly. Now I'm going to use a Fl.Orange or a orange. We use a standard. This is a fluorescent orange uni thread. So we start at the back and then come down, thread to basically in line with the point of the hook, come back up. So we've got plenty of grip. Now there's an underwing. You can put this on after the legs or before the legs. Now I'm going to use a fiery brown Antron, or a brown, or you can use an orange if you want, but I'm going to use the fiery brown. Now, as I say, when this fly sits in the water, it's going to be sitting this way. So it's quite simple. We've got the fiery brown Antron. Just bring it up, come round a couple of times so it doesn't slip. Then we can pull this in just to the back of the hook. Tighten up, fold it back. The pointed hook is, you've just got to be careful. You don't, you're going to nick yourself an odd time, but you get used to it when you've tied a few. You trim this just to the back of the hook. Just make sure it's lined up. There we are. Now I've got rubber legs, perfect rubber legs. This is the one I'm using. I'm going to use a hot orange. So basically take a full strand off, then we double it, trim it down, double up again, sure the ends, that's 4 now, and then trim. Now these are going to be tied on the underside, tied forward. Now I'm going to round a bit of head length away from the back of the resin. And then we catch these in. Now I like to stretch them towards the wing. We can then move them around to suit. So we can. And then make sure it's nice and tight. And make sure these are 2 either side. You can figure 8 through them if you want. I'm never too fussy when it comes to the way these positioned. Like, as long as there's a space between them. Start off with them long. Yeah, you can always then, I'll just get these lined up, you can always trim them back. And basically that's your legs on, and what I'm going to do to keep them apart, I'm going to use some, this is a brown olive, the Lite-Brite. Stick up, just tie it between the legs, run the thread through it, and then bring the thread to the front. Again, make a space. So there, basically that's your underwing, wee bit of dubbing. We'll finish off a wee touch of dubbing as well. The deer hair, you can use dyed deer hair. I'm just going to use a natural deer hair. This is from the belly of a roe. Get the length you want, just to the back of the hook. I'm just going to trim it away. Get the length, there it's there. Now what we do is just use your fingers here, just make sure you get a turn right round, follow up with another one and then tighten up. And then you can take the thread turns, keeping hold of the wing, through the cut ends. Now once you're happy with that, you can then take everything to the back, turn the thread in front. Now there's the cut ends there, you want to trim these away. But before I do that, I'm just going to put a wee touch of dubbing. I'm going back to my Lite-Brite or Lite-Brite, anything that you've got that you'd like, or any of your dubbins, don't even have to put dubbing in. Just make sure that's to the back. It just tidies things up. Now what I like to do is put a bit of super glue on my thread. Do a turn. Then wet finish. Tighten up. Throw your thread. And then we can come in and see the cut ends. Just take your time. Doesn't have to be perfect, as long as you don't cut the wing away. Just like to flatten this with my finger. So you keep the legs long. When you go fishing, you can always trim them back if you don't like them too long. If the guide will keep you right. And then what we do is just where we've actually finished. Just rotate your vise. This is clear varnish. And there you go, that's basically an orange bitters. It's a Bonefish Fly. Small crab pattern. I mean it's going to be sitting like this. Basically in the bottom. And the bonefish find these flies irresistible. As I say, you can have all different colours. You get your olive. You get basically tan or so. Have the colour, but have all the colours. It's best to have something different. I know the bright orange legs, just a good targeting point. They do work, so I hope you enjoyed that.